Alex is a chaotic mess, and I love it. Unlike Henry, who had to grow up in front of everyone, Alex got to have a normal childhood with a loving family, and it shows. He is more open and expressive, and willing to follow through on what matters to him. So today, let's have a look at what makes Alex tick, from his clothes, to flirting, to what he fights for. Outfits that count. Clothes can mean so much for a character, and I love uncovering what that could be. We talked last time about Henry's clothes, and how they are used to tell a deeper story of what he is feeling. And Alex's clothes are the same. Alex, however, does not need to hide who he is as much as Henry, so his clothes are more expressive. They change much more throughout the movie, showing and highlighting that Alex is living more fully and vibrantly than Henry can. You can look at an outfit and know exactly what he is feeling in that moment. Here are some of the highlight outfits. Throughout the movie, we see Alex in jackets and open shirts over a t-shirt. However, in Paris, he steps this up with a suit jacket. You get the feeling that he's trying to dress up for Henry, but he cannot help being himself underneath. He wears a blue suit, like Henry, when he is doing royal engagements, like the press interview, the polo event, and meeting the king. In these moments, he's trying to fit into the royal world. He is trying to be a person that can stand beside Henry in these environments. Alex is so uncomfortable both times he's in a tux. The first is because he's going to see Henry, and he's not comfortable with the expectations that come with Henry and that world. The second is when he's waiting for Henry to turn up at the White House after their kiss, and doesn't know how to act. The restrictive nature of the tuxedo showing through in these uncomfortable moments for Alex. Alex's New Year's Eve outfit is not as outgoing as I was expecting, and is definitely more subdued than the people around him, including Pez in his white and black jacket. You have to think that subconsciously he was trying not to stand out as much, so Henry would feel more comfortable, and they could better hide in the crowd. At the lake house, he has no shirt on under his tops, like he normally does, and the tops are way more colourful. In this moment, he has removed his armour. He is no longer pretending to be anything else. It's just him, and he is in love. Willing to admit when he's wrong. Henry says,
"One thing I most admire about Alex is his willingness to admit when he's wrong."
It's meant to be a fun jab at Alex, showing Henry's wit, and a way for Henry to get back at Alex for annoying Henry over the years. But you know what? It turns out to be true. Firstly, in the cupboard at the hospital, we see Henry confront Alex about,
"Why'd you dislike me?"
After they clear the air, and Henry has come clean about what that time was like for him, we see that it hits home for Alex. He says,
"Well, now I feel like I need to apologize."
He realizes he was wrong, and admits it, sort of. The second time is in Paris, when Alex finally admits that,
"I can't believe how wrong I was about you."
Alex has always hated Henry for being
He's elite and privileged and lives in a palace.
and never took the time to get to know Henry as a person. He just wanted to hate him, and took the smallest grudge to make that happen. And in this moment, he understands so much more about Henry and his life that he never thought was possible. He sees the real Henry and admits that he was wrong. Such a child. Alex acts like such a child at the beginning of this movie, and I think it's a defense against his unacknowledged attraction to Henry. We see him initially want to skip the royal wedding to do touristy stuff, so he doesn't have to meet with Henry at all. This is such a lame cop-out that it's no wonder that Nora shoots down the idea. The way he moves in his tux is also like a child being forced to wear a jumper when he doesn't want to. Overly dramatic for the sake of it. As they turn up, he immediately reaches for and sculls a glass of wine while walking into the reception like he's being taken to the gallows. This behaviour compared to Nora's casualness makes you think that something else is going on, much more than him just not wanting to be there. He did make mention of feeling inadequate at these sort of events.
I feel like if I use the wrong fork at dinner, they're just gonna eat me alive.
But you have to think that reaching for alcohol is not going to help, especially as it goes from one drink to drunk and making a fool of himself. The childishness continues, now exacerbated by being drunk, when he loudly accosts Henry by the cake. He throws insults because he can and gets baited by Henry's cool replies. In this moment, he forgets everything and lashes out, turning it into a fight and lying on the floor covered in cake.
"Do you think anyone noticed?"
From the credits really caps off this moment of childish behaviour. You would think causing an international incident like this would get him to grow up, but no. We see him trying to make jokes about it.
You've done some pretty stupid things in your day, but this...
Takes the cake?
We do get a glimpse into how smart he is with the campaign advice,
I'd argue that you don't actually need the Midwest, and there's a path to re-election without that you don't want to hear from me today.
and he's shutting up when his mum gives him that look. And just when you think he's about to turn the corner out of childhood with his sincere apology,
I'm really sorry, Mom.
he's defending himself with a pillow and arguing with Zara about how stupid it all is. We don't see him really lose this childishness until after the publicity visit with Henry, and his dad tells him off. Between seeing beneath the facade of Prince Henry and his dad pointing out that he is in fact the same as Henry, he finally starts to lose this immature behaviour. He finally lets go of the
What's that?
I'm just brushing that working class chip off your shoulder.
and truly starts to become the smart, capable, confident person that can take on the world on his own and eventually stand beside Henry as an equal. Flirting throws him. Miguel and Henry both flirt with Alex in this movie, and each time he doesn't know what to do with it. The poor boy just sits there awkwardly and tries to brush it off. First we have Miguel at the coffee shop. They are talking normally, and Alex is in control of the conversation, until Miguel suggests that they hang out again. Immediately he's on the defensive, looking for excuses to get out of the conversation. Miguel pushes Alex by saying,
You're always running at full speed. Es lo que te hace tan encantador. Eso y las pestañas.
At this point, Alex shuts down entirely and awkwardly goes to leave. Then we have the New Year's Eve party. This one's kind of on Alex and Henry for both making it awkward. Henry is not good at flirting, probably due to a lack of practice and confidence, and Alex is not picking up on any of it at all, probably because he hasn't put two and two together and realised he likes Henry. Henry spends a great deal of the night staring at Alex and is lost when they're not together. Alex is just having fun, but keeps being drawn back to Henry and even chases him outside. Once there, Henry tries to drop hints about himself and his preferences.
People I date don't interest me, and the people who interest me, I can't date.
Fishing for Alex to figure it out, but Alex is oblivious.
Oh my God, Henry, I have no idea what you're talking about. You're as thick as it gets.
Henry bypasses flirting and goes straight to kissing, and even then Alex is still not sure what to do about it. But as Henry walks away, we see again that he is shut down and cannot function. He cannot process everything and just stands there. The best flirting scene by far is the Paris coffee shop. They are just sitting there talking, but Henry keeps taking it there. Alex copes with the first one okay, when Henry throws out,
Which are the famous boys that I shagged? There's two things I've been asked.
Henry lets him off the hook by changing the subject. But then he throws out,
He is.
and both Alex and I have no idea what to do with that. Me personally, I'm still gobsmacked that Henry actually said that out in public. And he looks so proud of himself, fighting for it. The one thing you can say about Alex is that he's prepared to fight for what he believes in. He will do whatever it takes, regardless of the consequences, to follow through. This can happen in silly ways, like with the turkey, or in more serious ways, with his mum's campaign. With the turkey, he pushes his mum's staff not to waste the money on a luxury hotel room,
I convinced my mother's staff to keep it at the White House, and they put the little asshole in my room.
leaving him to deal with it. This fight can also be seen in his willingness to help his mum with the election campaign. He strongly believes in his ideas,
There are good ideas in here.
and at every turn he tries to point them out.
If your campaign had read my memo, you'd know.
He brings it up when he's getting in trouble after Cakegate, when he is forcing his memo on campaign staff and Zara, and when he's in trouble with his mum for the Texas campaign information that she doesn't know anything about. His mum finally relents and looks into it. Not only does he get to act on his ideas for the campaign, but his actions become the reason his mum wins, proving he was right to keep fighting. Fighting for what he wants is so ingrained in him that he does it for Henry as well. He fights and persists to talk to Henry after their first kiss. He tells Henry in no uncertain terms to come to his room. He works to get himself and Henry in the same place to spend time together. So by the time that they are at the lake house, Alex cannot imagine a life without Henry in it. He is so convinced of it that he completely misses Henry shutting down and pulling away from him. But that doesn't deter him. He goes after Henry and
I stormed a fucking castle to look you in the eye and tell you that I love you.
just to make Henry see sense, or to have Henry have the guts to dump him properly. In the face of so much conviction, Henry decides to keep trying. It also inspires Henry to stand up for himself against the king. After Alex tries, but fails, to keep fighting for them,
Why is it out of the question?
Mr. Claremont Diaz, let me disabuse you of the idea that your contribution to this conversation is in any way welcome.
Henry takes up the fight on his own,
I'll ask it then. Why must we maintain a traditional royal image?
showing just how much Alex's love and support has done for him. This is such a powerful moment because the one thing Alex cannot fight, Henry can, and he does. Man, I love this movie. Always so much to see and uncover. As always, thanks for watching, and let's see what other secrets we can uncover next time on Nerdy Investigations.